Hi, everyone. Welcome to Speak English Easily 24/7. Don't forget to subscribe for daily English tips. If this is your first time here, you're in the right place. This is the channel where we upload videos every day to help you improve your English listening and speaking skills. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming challenges in daily life. I will share some stories, real examples, and practical tips that can help you face difficult situations with confidence. Let me start with a story about my friend Daniel. Daniel works in a busy tech company. Last year, he faced one of the biggest challenges of his life. He was assigned a project where he had to lead a team for the first time. Daniel was very skilled technically, but leading people was completely new to him. He felt nervous and unsure. He didn't know how to solve conflicts between team members or motivate people to do their best work. At first, Daniel struggled a lot. He tried to handle everything by himself, thinking he needed to be perfect. He made many mistakes. He spent too much time solving small problems alone instead of asking for help. Communication was hard for him, and sometimes team members felt frustrated because they were not sure what to do. One day, a team member named Sarah came to him and said, "Daniel, we want to help you, but you need to trust us and share the work." Daniel hesitated at first. He thought asking for help might make him look weak. But slowly, he realized something important. Leadership is not about doing everything yourself. True leadership is about guiding your team, listening to them, and trusting their abilities. Once he understood this, things started to change. Over the next few months, Daniel focused on learning how to communicate better. He practiced listening carefully when people gave feedback. He learned to celebrate even small achievements so the team felt motivated. Daniel also started keeping a journal, writing down the lessons he learned each day and tracking his progress. By the end of the project, not only had the team completed their work successfully, but Daniel also became much more confident in his role. Daniel told me that this experience taught him a very important lesson. Challenges are not obstacles. They are actually opportunities to grow, learn, and become stronger. Now, let me share another example from my own life. A few years ago, I had to balance many things at once. I was studying, working part-time, and trying to improve my English at the same time. At first, it felt impossible. I thought I would fail because there were so many tasks to do every day. But I realized that instead of being afraid, I could take small steps, stay organized, and ask for help when needed. I made a daily schedule and divided my work into small, manageable tasks. Every day, I focused on completing just a few important things rather than worrying about everything at once. I also made a habit of asking friends or teachers for guidance when I didn't understand something. Slowly, I noticed progress. The tasks became easier, and I started feeling more confident. From my experience and Daniel's story, it is clear that facing challenges may feel scary, but every challenge is a chance to learn new skills, become stronger, and grow as a person. The key is to stay calm, stay focused, and never be afraid to ask for help or try something new. Life will always give us obstacles, but with patience, practice, and determination, we can overcome anything. A few years ago, I experienced one of the busiest periods of my life. I was working full-time while also preparing for an advanced English exam. Some days, I felt completely exhausted. There were moments when I thought about giving up. My wife noticed my stress and suggested something simple but powerful: create a strict schedule with time for rest and exercise. At first, I was worried. I thought a schedule would make me feel even more pressured. But I decided to try it, and I was surprised by what happened. Having a schedule actually reduced my stress. It helped me focus on what was important and gave me a sense of control over my time. By following the schedule and taking regular breaks, I was able to make steady progress every day. Small improvements added up over time, and gradually, what seemed impossible at first became manageable. One of the biggest challenges in life is the fear of failure. Many people hesitate to try something new because they're afraid of making mistakes. But we can learn a lot from Daniel's story. Daniel was afraid of failing as a team leader. He could have avoided responsibility, but he decided to face his fear. Each mistake he made taught him a lesson. Every small step forward brought him closer to success. The key is to keep going despite fear. Another useful tip is to break big challenges into smaller steps. When a problem feels too big, divide it into parts you can manage. For example, if you want to improve your English speaking skills, you don't need to be perfect immediately. Start with just 10 minutes a day. Record yourself speaking or practice with one trusted friend. Over time, these small steps lead to real improvement. Gradually, confidence builds, and bigger goals become easier to achieve. Let me share a story about my neighbor, Mr. Ahmed. He had always dreamed of running his own cafe, but he was unsure about finances and worried about managing customers. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, he decided to start small. He began by selling coffee from a tiny corner in his house. Naturally, there were mistakes. Sometimes he forgot orders or mixed drinks incorrectly. But he didn't quit. Mr. Ahmed learned from every mistake. He listened to customer feedback and slowly improved his skills. Over time, he expanded his cafe step by step. Today, his cafe is well known in the neighborhood. He often says that his failures taught him more than any book could. This shows that setbacks are not the end. They are part of the learning process. Mistakes are lessons, and persistence turns challenges into success. Another important factor is positive thinking and resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges will come. Some days will be difficult, and some plans will fail. But if we maintain a positive mindset and focus on what we can control, we become stronger. Resilience is like a muscle. It grows every time we face difficulties and keep moving forward. From my own experience, Daniel's story, and Mr. Ahmed's journey, it is clear that small, consistent actions, learning from mistakes, and staying positive are keys to overcoming challenges. No matter how big a problem seems, every challenge can be turned into an opportunity for growth, learning, and success. Challenges become easier to face when we focus on solutions instead of problems. Let me share a personal experience. Last year, my car broke down in the middle of a trip. I could have panicked, gotten frustrated, or complained, but I chose to stay calm. I called a service center for help and used the waiting time to plan the rest of my trip. By staying calm and thinking clearly, I turned a stressful situation into something manageable. This taught me an important lesson. Staying calm and focusing on what you can do is always more helpful than worrying about what went wrong. Another important skill for overcoming challenges is adaptability. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and those who succeed are often the ones who can adjust quickly. My friend Michael, who is an architect, faced this challenge last year. He was leading a major construction project when a key supplier failed to deliver materials on time. Michael could have panicked, blamed others, or stressed out endlessly. But he didn't. Instead, he analyzed the situation, communicated clearly with his team, and found alternative suppliers. He even rearranged the project schedule to make up for lost time. By staying calm and adaptable, Michael not only completed the project successfully but also gained respect from both clients and colleagues. His story shows that challenges are often opportunities to show problem-solving skills. Balancing work and personal life is another common challenge. My friend Emma is a manager at a large company, and she often worked long hours. A few months ago, she noticed that stress from work was affecting her relationship with her husband. She decided to set boundaries, like turning off work notifications after 7 p.m. and spending quality time with her family. At first, it was difficult for her to say no to extra work. But over time, she realized that protecting her personal time actually made her more productive during work hours. This example shows that overcoming challenges is not just about solving external problems. It's also about managing your own priorities, energy, and well-being. Sometimes, challenges appear as health problems or physical limits. These situations test both patience and persistence. For instance, a friend of mine, Sarah, wanted to run her first 5-kilometer race, but had never exercised regularly. She could have felt discouraged and quit. Instead, she started small, walking short distances first, then jogging a little each day. She set tiny goals, celebrated every small success, and slowly built her stamina. On race day, she finished the run, proud of her achievement. This story teaches an important lesson. Challenges often seem bigger than they really are. If we take small, consistent steps and focus on progress instead of perfection, even the toughest obstacles can be overcome. Finally, challenges teach us the value of resilience, patience, and problem-solving. Life will always have unexpected twists, broken cars, delayed projects, stressful jobs, or health limits, but each challenge is also an opportunity to learn and grow. When we stay calm, adapt to change, manage our priorities, and take small steps toward our goals, we can handle almost anything life throws at us. Challenges in life often need patience, persistence, and planning. I remember a friend named Kareem who wanted to run a marathon, even though he had never exercised regularly. At first, he could only run short distances, and he often felt frustrated. Many times, he thought about giving up. But instead of quitting, Kareem created a gradual plan. He ran a little further each week, focused on good nutrition, and made sure to rest properly. After several months of consistent effort, he completed his first marathon. His story shows that many challenges are long-term, and success comes from taking small, steady steps, even when progress feels slow. Another common challenge is fear, especially in social situations. My colleague Lisa was invited to speak at a big conference in front of hundreds of people. Public speaking terrified her, and she thought about saying no. But she decided to face her fear. She practiced her speech many times, asked friends for feedback, and visualized a positive outcome. When the conference day arrived, she spoke confidently, received applause, and felt proud of herself. Lisa's story teaches an important lesson. Preparation and visualization can help us overcome fear. Facing fear is not easy, but small steps and practice make a huge difference. Financial difficulties are another type of challenge that many people face. My friend Ahmed once went through a sudden financial crisis when his small business lost money. He could have panicked or avoided the problem. Instead, he created a detailed plan. He listed all his expenses, cut unnecessary costs, and looked for ways to earn more money. Ahmed also took online courses to improve his skills in business management. Within a year, his situation improved. Not only did he recover financially, but he also became stronger, wiser, and more prepared for future challenges. Ahmed's experience shows that even big money problems can be solved with planning, learning, and persistence. Some challenges are emotional rather than practical. My friend Sophia went through a very difficult time after losing her father. She felt deeply sad and found it hard to continue her daily life. At first, she withdrew from friends and avoided her usual activities. But over time, she realized she needed to take small steps to heal. She started talking to close friends, writing down her thoughts in a journal, and spending time on activities she enjoyed. Slowly, Sophia began to feel better. Her story reminds us that emotional challenges take time, and healing happens step by step, not all at once. No matter the type of challenge, physical, social, financial, or emotional, the key is to stay calm, plan carefully, and take small steps. Success is rarely instant. It comes from consistent effort, learning from mistakes, and believing in yourself. When we face difficulties patiently and keep trying, even the toughest problems can be solved. Life will always have challenges, but each one is an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more confident. Emotional challenges can feel heavy, but taking small steps can make a big difference. My friend Sophia, for example, lost her father and felt overwhelmed with grief. At first, she struggled to do daily tasks and withdrew from friends. Instead of forcing herself to move too fast, she started small. She took short walks, wrote down her thoughts in a journal, and talked to close friends and her husband. Over time, these little steps helped her feel stronger. She even started volunteering to help others going through loss. Sophia's story shows that emotional challenges can be managed gradually, and seeking support is a smart way to heal, not a weakness. Another important lesson comes from learning from failure. My friend Robert tried to start a small online store. The first few months were very difficult. Sales were low, and he received some negative feedback from customers. Many people would have quit, but Robert didn't. Instead, he carefully read the feedback, learned from it, and made changes. He improved his product descriptions, redesigned his website, and adjusted his marketing approach. He even took time to learn more about digital marketing. Slowly, his efforts paid off, and today his online store is successful. Robert's story shows that failure is not the end. It's a chance to learn and grow if you're willing to adapt. Sometimes, challenges require learning new skills. My friend Foda is a teacher, but recently her school started online classes. At first, she struggled with the technology and felt frustrated. Many people would have avoided it, but Foda decided to face the challenge. She watched online tutorials, asked colleagues for help, and practiced every day. After a few weeks, she became confident in managing her online classes. Her experience shows that when you learn new skills, a challenge can turn into an opportunity for growth. Unexpected responsibilities at home can also feel overwhelming. My friend Samir and his wife recently moved into a new house. There were repairs, furniture to arrange, and small problems everywhere. At first, it felt impossible. Instead of trying to do everything at once, Samir and his wife broke the tasks into smaller, manageable parts. Each weekend, they focused on one area: painting walls, arranging furniture, or fixing plumbing. Step by step, the house became organized, and the process even brought them closer together. This story shows that big challenges become easier when you break them into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. These examples teach us some key lessons about facing challenges in daily life. Take small steps, even when the problem seems big. Learn from mistakes and adapt when things go wrong. Acquire new skills to turn obstacles into opportunities. Seek support when you need it, especially during emotional difficulties. Stay patient and persistent. Progress may be slow, but it will come. Whether the challenge is emotional, professional, financial, or physical, these strategies can help anyone move forward. Life will always have problems, but the way we respond determines how we grow. Facing difficulties calmly, learning from every mistake, and taking action step by step can turn challenges into chances for success and personal growth. Dividing big challenges into smaller steps makes them much easier to handle. My friend Samir and his wife moved into a new house recently. At first, the repairs and arrangements seemed impossible. But they broke the work into small parts, focusing on one thing each weekend, like painting, arranging furniture, or fixing plumbing. Step by step, the house became organized, and the process even brought them closer together. This shows that large challenges become manageable when you tackle them piece by piece. Another important way to face challenges is maintaining a positive mindset. My friend Rebecca used to hate her long daily commute to work. At first, she complained and felt stressed, but then she decided to change her approach. She started listening to educational podcasts and audiobooks during her travel. Not only did this make her commute enjoyable, but she also learned new skills and ideas that helped her professionally. This example shows that turning obstacles into opportunities to learn is a powerful strategy. Sometimes, challenges require making difficult decisions. Daniel, whom I mentioned earlier, faced such a situation. He had to choose between staying in a comfortable position at his company or taking a risk by moving to a new job with more responsibility. After thinking carefully, discussing with his wife, and considering his long-term goals, he decided to take the new position. It was not easy, but this decision helped him grow both professionally and personally. This reminds us that courage often means making informed choices even when the future is uncertain. Many challenges also test patience and persistence. My friend Anwar decided to learn a new language. At first, he struggled with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. Some days, it felt overwhelming. But he practiced every day, used flashcards, and joined language exchange groups. After months of effort, he became fluent. His story shows that consistent effort and patience are key to overcoming difficult tasks, even when progress is slow. Challenges can also teach the importance of teamwork. My friend Rachel coordinates community projects. Last year, she had to organize a charity event with a limited budget. At first, she worried about meeting the expectations of volunteers and donors. But she realized that asking for help, delegating tasks, and trusting her team made the event successful. Everyone worked together, shared ideas, and solved problems as they came. Rachel learned that working with others and using everyone's strengths is often the best way to overcome big challenges. Facing challenges is not always easy, but it can teach us important lessons. Breaking problems into smaller steps, staying positive, making informed decisions, practicing patience, and relying on teamwork are all strategies that help us succeed. Whether challenges are personal, professional, or emotional, these strategies show that problems can become opportunities for growth. When we face difficulties calmly and persistently, we often find new skills, new confidence, and even new opportunities. Life will always have obstacles, but our mindset, effort, and willingness to learn determine how we grow and succeed. Every challenge is a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Working with a team can make challenges easier to handle. My friend Rachel coordinates community projects. Last year, she had to organize a charity event with a limited budget. At first, she worried about meeting everyone's expectations. But she decided to involve her team, assign clear responsibilities, and motivate everyone. By working together, the event went smoothly and became a success. Rachel learned that collaboration often produces better results than trying to do everything alone. Another challenge many people face is handling criticism. My friend Omar, a writer, received harsh criticism on his first published article. At first, he felt discouraged. But instead of giving up, he read the feedback carefully and used it to improve his next article. He even joined a writing group to get helpful advice. Over time, Omar's writing became much stronger. His experience shows that challenges often come disguised as feedback, and using them wisely can help you grow. Challenges also test our flexibility and creative thinking. My friend Layla runs a small bakery and once faced a sudden shortage of key ingredients. She had to change recipes, try new techniques, and make the best use of what she had. By staying flexible, she kept her bakery running and kept customers happy. This teaches us that adapting and thinking creatively are essential when unexpected problems occur. Communication can also be a challenge. My friend John had to give a presentation to international clients with different cultural expectations. At first, he struggled and feared making mistakes. But he prepared carefully, practiced with colleagues, and researched the audience's preferences. The presentation went well, and he received positive feedback. John's story shows that preparation, awareness, and effort can help you overcome communication challenges. Many challenges require self-discipline and consistency. My friend Nadia wanted to improve her fitness, but her early attempts at exercising were inconsistent. She created a simple schedule, started with small workouts, and gradually increased her effort. By sticking to this plan, she became fit and healthy over time. Her experience shows that consistent effort, even in small steps, leads to lasting results. Challenges can appear in many forms: working with a team, dealing with criticism, being flexible in unexpected situations, communicating effectively, or staying disciplined. What all these examples have in common is that facing challenges successfully often depends on your mindset, preparation, and willingness to learn. Rachel's teamwork, Omar's use of feedback, Layla's creativity, John's preparation, and Nadia's discipline all demonstrate that difficulties can become opportunities for growth when we approach them wisely. Life will always have obstacles, but these stories show that challenges can teach important lessons. By staying positive, breaking problems into smaller steps, collaborating with others, learning from feedback, thinking creatively, preparing well, and staying consistent, we can overcome almost anything. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable, turning difficulties into opportunities for personal and professional success. Overcoming challenges often requires self-discipline and consistency. My friend Nadia wanted to improve her fitness. At first, her exercise was inconsistent and she felt frustrated. She created a simple schedule, set small goals, and tracked her progress. Slowly, her strength, energy, and confidence improved. Nadia's story shows that small, consistent steps lead to big results. Another important part of facing challenges is accepting mistakes as part of learning. My friend Hassan started learning to cook for the first time. At first, he burnt dishes, oversalted meals, and sometimes forgot ingredients. Instead of giving up, he treated each mistake as a lesson. Over time, his cooking improved, and now he can make delicious meals for his family. Hassan's experience reminds us that mistakes are normal and essential for growth. Challenges also teach emotional resilience. One of my friends had a small business and lost an important client. At first, he felt stressed and helpless. But instead of worrying, he focused on solutions. He analyzed what went wrong, contacted potential new clients, and sought advice from mentors. Gradually, he gained new clients that were even better suited for his business. He often says that facing this challenge made him stronger and more prepared for future problems. Time management is another skill that helps overcome challenges. My friend Aisha is a software engineer and also writes a personal blog. Balancing both was exhausting, and she often felt she didn't have enough time. She decided to plan her week carefully, prioritize tasks, and focus on small daily goals. She avoided distractions, like unnecessary social media scrolling. Over time, she became more productive and enjoyed both her work and her passion for writing. Aisha's story shows that planning and prioritizing make challenges manageable. Facing challenges often involves problem-solving and creativity. Life is unpredictable, and those who succeed are the ones who adapt quickly. For example, my friend Kareem wanted to run a marathon, but had never exercised regularly. At first, he struggled with short runs and felt frustrated. Instead of quitting, he created a gradual plan, increased his running distance each week, focused on nutrition, and rested properly. After several months, he completed his first marathon. Kareem's story shows that patience, persistence, and consistent effort are key to achieving long-term goals. Overcoming challenges sometimes means facing fears. My colleague Lisa was invited to speak at a conference in front of hundreds of people. Public speaking terrified her, and she thought about declining. But she decided to face her fear. She practiced multiple times, asked friends for feedback, and visualized a positive outcome. On the day of the conference, she spoke confidently, received applause, and felt proud of herself. Lisa's story teaches us that preparation, practice, and visualization help overcome fear. Financial difficulties are another common challenge. My friend Ahmed faced a sudden business loss and could have panicked. Instead, he made a detailed plan, reduced unnecessary expenses, explored extra income opportunities, and learned new skills to manage his business better. Within a year, his situation improved, and he was stronger and better prepared for the future. This shows that planning, learning, and resilience help overcome financial problems. Emotional challenges require patience and support. My friend Sophia lost her father and felt overwhelmed with grief. She started taking small steps, like short walks, journaling, and talking with close friends and family. Gradually, she felt stronger and even started volunteering to help others. Sophia's story shows that emotional healing takes time, and seeking support is smart, not weak. Time management is a very practical way to face daily challenges. My friend Aisha who works as a software engineer and writes a blog, learned this. By planning her week, setting small goals, and avoiding distractions, she became more productive and balanced both her work and passion. Her experience shows that organizing your time makes life challenges easier to handle. Health challenges can also be difficult. My friend Rayhan was diagnosed with a minor but chronic health condition. At first, he felt anxious and unsure what to do. But he decided to learn about his illness, eat healthier, exercise regularly, and get professional advice. He also joined support groups to connect with others facing similar problems. By taking small, consistent steps, Rayhan improved his health and felt empowered instead of defeated. His story shows that knowledge, planning, and persistence can help manage health issues successfully. Sometimes, challenges involve adjusting to a new culture. My friend Farah moved to a new city for work, where customs and communication styles were very different. At first, she felt awkward and found it hard to connect with colleagues. Instead of isolating herself, she observed carefully, asked polite questions, and adapted her behavior over time. She also took language classes to communicate better. Within a few months, Farah built strong relationships and felt comfortable. Her story shows that patience, observation, and open-mindedness are essential to adapting to new cultures. Facing challenges often means taking responsibility for mistakes. My friend TK made an error in an important project at work, causing minor delays. He could have blamed others, but instead, he admitted his mistake and suggested a way to fix it. His honesty impressed his manager, and the team quickly solved the problem together. TK often says that accepting responsibility not only solves problems faster but also earns trust and respect. Maintaining motivation during long-term goals is another common challenge. Many people start projects with enthusiasm but lose focus over time. Breaking the goal into smaller steps, celebrating small achievements, and reminding yourself of the bigger purpose can help. For example, when learning a new skill or saving money for a goal, focusing on small progress every day keeps motivation alive and prevents giving up. Challenges also test our ability to adapt and be flexible. Life rarely goes exactly as planned. My friend Layla runs a small bakery and once faced a sudden shortage of ingredients. Instead of panicking, she adjusted her recipes, tried new methods, and made the best use of available resources. Her creativity allowed her to continue serving customers without lowering quality. Layla's experience shows that adaptability and creative thinking are key when unexpected problems arise. Communication challenges are another part of daily life. My friend John had to present to international clients who had very different expectations. At first, he was nervous and worried about making mistakes. But he prepared carefully, practiced with colleagues, and learned about cultural preferences. The presentation went smoothly, and he received positive feedback. John's story highlights that preparation, awareness, and effort can help overcome communication challenges. In short, overcoming daily challenges often requires a mix of patience, planning, adaptability, and persistence. Whether it's managing time, health, work mistakes, cultural differences, or communication problems, small steps and consistent effort make a big difference. Facing challenges is not easy, but every problem you overcome makes you stronger, more confident, and better prepared for the future. My friend Lena wanted to write a book, but at first, progress was slow, and she sometimes felt discouraged. To stay motivated, she set small goals like writing 500 words a day and celebrated completing each chapter. She also joined a writer's group to get support and accountability. Gradually, she finished her book. Lena's story shows that breaking a big challenge into smaller, achievable steps keeps you motivated and moving forward. Challenges can also happen in family life. My friend Omar's wife started a new job, which meant they had to adjust their daily routines and responsibilities at home. Omar felt stressed managing chores, meals, and childcare. He and his wife created a shared plan, divided tasks, and set routines. They talked openly about expectations and supported each other. Over time, everything became smoother, and they felt more connected and less stressed. This shows that teamwork and clear communication are key to handling family challenges. Technical problems are another type of challenge. My friend Sarah works from home and depends on her computer. One day, her computer crashed during an important video call. Instead of panicking, she calmly explained the situation to her client, switched to a backup device, and continued the meeting. Later, she learned how to back up files regularly and troubleshoot common issues. Sarah's experience shows that staying calm and prepared makes technical challenges easier to handle. Learning from criticism is also an important way to face challenges professionally. My friend Kamal is an engineer. During a project review, his supervisor criticized his approach to a design problem. At first, Kamal felt defensive, but he decided to listen carefully, take notes, and ask questions. He used the feedback to revise his design and presented it again. His work improved, and he gained confidence in handling criticism. Kamal's story shows that feedback is an opportunity to learn and improve, not something to fear. Sometimes challenges test creativity and adaptability. My friend Layla runs a small bakery and once faced a shortage of key ingredients. Instead of panicking, she adjusted recipes, tried new methods, and used what was available. She managed to keep her bakery running smoothly and maintain quality. This example shows that flexibility and creative thinking help you overcome unexpected problems. Challenges often involve communication skills. My friend John had to present to international clients with very different cultural expectations. He was nervous and worried about making mistakes. But he prepared carefully, practiced with colleagues, and learned about cultural differences. On the day of the presentation, it went well, and he received positive feedback. John's story shows that preparation, practice, and awareness can help overcome communication challenges. Facing challenges also requires patience and persistence. My friend Nadia wanted to improve her fitness, but struggled to exercise consistently. She created a schedule, set small goals, and tracked her progress. Over time, her health and energy improved, and she felt proud. Nadia's story shows that consistent effort and self-discipline are key to overcoming challenges. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. My friend Hassan started cooking for the first time. He burnt dishes, oversalted meals, and sometimes forgot ingredients. Instead of giving up, he treated each mistake as a lesson. Gradually, his cooking improved, and now he can make delicious meals. Hassan's story reminds us that mistakes are part of learning and growth. Kamal received praise for improving after his supervisor's criticism. He now sees feedback as a tool to grow instead of a personal attack. This mindset is very useful for handling challenges at work and in life. Sometimes, challenges mean stepping out of your comfort zone. My friend Nadia joined a community sports group, even though she had no experience and felt shy. The first sessions were hard, and she struggled to keep up. But by attending regularly and asking for help, she improved her skills and made new friends. Nadia often says that growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Challenges can also involve managing multiple responsibilities. My friend Imran runs a small business and takes care of his elderly parents. Balancing work, family, and personal life is not easy. He learned to plan tasks in advance, prioritize urgent matters, and ask for help when needed. By staying organized and flexible, Imran handles both responsibilities well. This shows that planning and delegation are key when facing complex challenges. Unexpected travel problems are another kind of challenge. My friend Yasmin planned a family trip, but their flight was delayed, and the hotel wasn't ready on arrival. She could have been frustrated, but she stayed calm, contacted the hotel, found alternative activities, and kept her family relaxed. By being composed and resourceful, she turned a stressful situation into a memorable experience. Challenges can also mean recovering from setbacks. My friend Ahmed tried to pass a certification exam, but failed on the first attempt. He could have felt defeated, but instead, he reviewed his mistakes, studied regularly, and asked for advice from mentors. On the next attempt, he passed with confidence. Ahmed's story shows that setbacks are not the end. They are opportunities to learn and come back stronger. Sometimes, challenges test patience and persistence. My friend Sarah wanted to learn how to play the guitar. At first, her fingers hurt, and she struggled to play simple songs. She practiced a little every day, followed tutorials, and celebrated small improvements. After months of steady effort, she could play full songs. Sarah's experience shows that consistent practice and patience are essential to overcome difficult challenges. Facing challenges often requires staying positive. My friend Hina was assigned a difficult project at work. She could have focused on the problems, but instead, she looked for solutions, encouraged her team, and celebrated small successes along the way. The project was completed successfully, and everyone felt proud. Hina's story reminds us that focusing on solutions rather than problems makes challenges easier to handle. Challenges can also teach important life lessons. My friend Omar faced financial difficulties when his small business lost clients. Instead of panicking, he made a clear plan, reduced unnecessary costs, learned new skills, and worked hard to find new clients. Within a year, his business recovered, and he became stronger and wiser. Omar's experience shows that planning, learning, and persistence can overcome even financial problems. Finally, challenges often help us discover inner strength. My friend Layla runs a bakery and faced a sudden shortage of ingredients. She had to be creative, adjust recipes, and use what she had. Her flexibility and positive attitude kept her business running and her customers happy. Layla's story shows that adaptability and creative thinking turn obstacles into opportunities. Ahmed failed the first time he tried a difficult exam. He felt disappointed and frustrated, but he didn't give up. Instead, he took some time to think about what went wrong. He studied his mistakes, changed the way he prepared, and spent more time practicing. When he tried again, he passed with a very high score. Ahmed's story shows an important lesson. Failing does not mean you are a failure. Setbacks are chances to learn, improve, and try again. Success often comes after careful reflection and persistence. Challenges do not only test our skills, they can also test our emotions. My friend Fatima faced a very difficult situation in a team meeting. People in the meeting were arguing, and tensions were rising. It could have become a very stressful and negative situation. But Fatima stayed calm. She listened carefully to everyone, did not react angrily, and tried to guide the conversation toward practical solutions. Because she controlled her emotions, the meeting became productive instead of harmful. Fatima's experience teaches us that emotional control is essential when facing challenges, whether at work or in personal life. Another common challenge is procrastination. My friend Samir often put off tasks until the very last minute. This caused him stress and made the quality of his work worse. He realized he needed a new approach. Samir decided to divide his work into smaller steps, set deadlines for each part, and reward himself when he finished tasks on time. Slowly, he became more organized, disciplined, and confident. Samir's story shows that procrastination can be overcome with planning, self-discipline, and positive reinforcement. Small changes in daily habits can make a big difference in achieving success. Sometimes, challenges require making sacrifices for long-term goals. My friend Layla wanted to save money to start her own business. This was not easy. She had to avoid spending money on things she wanted immediately and carefully set aside money for her business. She focused on her long-term goal rather than short-term desires. After months of careful saving and planning, Layla finally had enough to start her business. Today, her business is successful. Layla's story demonstrates that patience, sacrifice, and thinking ahead are important in overcoming financial and personal challenges. Another type of challenge is handling conflicts effectively. My friend Omar faced a situation where he had disagreements with his colleagues. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, he chose to stay calm, understand other people's perspectives, and find solutions that worked for everyone. By doing this, he avoided worsening the conflict and helped the team move forward. Omar's experience shows that conflicts, when handled carefully, can become opportunities to build stronger relationships and improve teamwork. In life, challenges can take many forms: failing tests, stressful situations, procrastination, financial struggles, or conflicts with others. Each challenge teaches something valuable. Ahmed, Fatima, Samir, Layla, and Omar all faced difficult situations, but they found ways to overcome them. They used persistence, emotional control, planning, patience, and thoughtful decision-making to succeed. These stories remind us that challenges are not obstacles to stop us. They are opportunities to grow, learn, and achieve our goals. Facing difficulties is a natural part of life, and the way we respond to them determines our success and personal growth. Challenges may feel uncomfortable or stressful, but they prepare us for bigger achievements in the future. With effort, discipline, and a calm mindset, every challenge can be transformed into a stepping stone toward success. Omar faced a disagreement with a colleague about which project tasks were most important. At first, it could have turned into a long-lasting conflict, but Omar chose a different approach. He scheduled a meeting, listened carefully to his colleagues' concerns, and suggested compromises that helped both of them. The conflict was resolved, and their teamwork became stronger. Omar's story shows that handling conflicts calmly and thoughtfully is key to overcoming challenges with other people. Avoiding a problem often makes it worse, but addressing it with understanding and patience can turn a difficult situation into a positive one. Some challenges require staying focused even when there are many distractions. My friend Rashid works in a busy office where interruptions happen all the time. At first, it was difficult for him to finish tasks efficiently. He decided to try new techniques to stay focused. He blocked out certain hours for deep work, turned off notifications on his devices, and used a timer to work in short, focused bursts. Gradually, Rashid's productivity improved, and he completed projects faster and with higher quality. His experience shows that concentration and careful planning are essential tools when dealing with challenges. Learning to manage distractions can make even the most chaotic environment manageable. Challenges also appear in relationships, and sometimes they require patience and resilience. My friend Amina had a tense situation with her neighbor about shared community responsibilities. At first, she felt frustrated and unsure how to handle the situation. But instead of reacting impulsively, she approached the matter calmly, listened to her neighbor's perspective, and looked for solutions that worked for both sides. In the end, the tension disappeared, harmony was restored, and mutual respect grew stronger. Amina's story highlights that empathy, communication, and patience are important skills when facing social challenges. These skills help maintain healthy relationships and solve problems without unnecessary conflict. Overcoming challenges in daily life often starts with setting clear, achievable goals. My friend Imran wanted to learn advanced photography, but he felt overwhelmed by the many techniques, equipment, and editing tools. Trying to learn everything at once made him stressed and frustrated. To handle this challenge, he broke his larger goal into smaller steps. First, he focused on learning about lighting. Next, he practiced composition and framing. Finally, he concentrated on editing his photos. Step by step, he improved his skills and eventually felt confident enough to start selling his photographs online. Imran's experience shows that when a challenge feels too big, dividing it into smaller, manageable parts makes it easier to succeed. Clear goals and a structured approach turn overwhelming tasks into achievable progress. Challenges can appear in all areas of life: work, personal relationships, social interactions, or personal growth. Omar, Rashid, Amina, and Imran each faced difficulties, but they approached them with careful strategies. Omar handled conflict with calm and compromise. Rashid improved focus through planning. Amina nurtured patience and empathy to repair social tension, and Imran used goal setting to master a complex skill. These stories teach us that challenges are not obstacles meant to stop us. They are opportunities to develop skills, grow stronger, and reach our goals. Life will always present difficulties, but by responding thoughtfully, maintaining focus, and planning carefully, every challenge can be transformed into a stepping stone toward success. Challenges teach us resilience, patience, and problem solving, and they prepare us for bigger achievements in the future. Facing them is not easy, but it is always worth the effort. Another important part of facing challenges is knowing when to ask for help. My friend Yasser started a small construction business, but he had little experience with accounting and financial planning. He could have struggled alone, trying to figure everything out by himself, but he made a smarter choice. Yasser hired an accountant and sought advice from experienced entrepreneurs. With their guidance, he avoided mistakes, made better decisions, and gradually grew his business. Yasser often says that asking for help is not a weakness. It is a wise strategy to overcome challenges. Many people think they have to handle everything on their own, but seeking guidance can make the difference between failure and success. Challenges also often require patience. My friend Farida wanted to learn how to play the piano. At first, she struggled with coordinating her hands and keeping the rhythm. Learning felt slow, and she sometimes felt discouraged. Instead of giving up, Farida practiced every day for a short time. She kept at it consistently, even when progress seemed small. After months of effort, she could play full songs with confidence. Farida's experience shows that patience, persistence, and steady practice are essential when mastering new skills. Some challenges cannot be solved quickly. They require time, effort, and gradual improvement. Challenges can also come in the form of new responsibilities, especially at work. My friend Omar was promoted to lead a team for the first time. He faced several difficulties, such as managing different personalities, meeting deadlines, and handling the expectations of both his team and his superiors. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, Omar studied leadership techniques, sought mentorship, and held regular team meetings to improve communication. Slowly, he learned to motivate his team, delegate tasks effectively, and keep projects on track. Omar's story shows that new responsibilities are challenging, but they also offer excellent opportunities for personal and professional growth. Challenges often push people to develop new skills and discover their potential. Sometimes challenges involve dealing with unexpected delays and disruptions. My friend Rana planned a large family event, but on the day of the gathering, heavy rain ruined all the outdoor arrangements. She could have felt frustrated or upset, but instead, she adapted quickly. Rana moved the event indoors, rearranged the activities, and made sure everyone enjoyed themselves despite the weather. Her ability to stay calm and find solutions turned a potentially disappointing day into a successful and memorable one. Rana's experience demonstrates that flexibility, creativity, and a positive attitude are important when facing unexpected challenges. Facing challenges in life often involves breaking problems into manageable steps. Yasser approached his business challenges by getting guidance and professional help. Farida improved her piano skills by practicing a little each day. Omar learned to lead his team by studying, asking questions, and gradually applying what he learned. Rana solved her event problems by quickly thinking of practical solutions. Each example shows that challenges can be overcome through careful planning, patience, adaptability, and seeking help when necessary. Challenges are a natural part of life, and how we respond to them determines our growth and success. Those who face difficulties with determination, learning, and flexibility often come out stronger and more capable on the other side. Life will continue to present obstacles, but by using strategies like these, every challenge can become an opportunity to improve, learn, and succeed. Rana's story shows that flexibility and quick thinking are essential skills when facing unexpected challenges. She was able to adapt her plans and make the family event enjoyable for everyone despite heavy rain. Being calm, thinking creatively, and acting quickly turned a potentially disappointing day into a success. Challenges often test our ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and those who can stay composed often find solutions more easily. Facing challenges also requires a commitment to continuous learning. My friend Tarek is a software developer who struggled when new technologies were introduced at his company. He could have resisted change or avoided learning new skills, but he chose a different path. Tarek enrolled in online courses, attended workshops, and experimented with new programming methods. Over time, he became proficient with the new technologies and even received recognition for his adaptability. Tarek's experience shows that embracing learning and growth helps turn professional challenges into opportunities. Challenges often push us to expand our skills and knowledge, and those who welcome this process benefit in the long run. Some challenges are physical or environmental. My friend Kareem loves hiking, but during one trip, he encountered a sudden storm on a mountain trail. He could have panicked, but instead he remained calm, followed safety procedures, and carefully guided his group to shelter. Everyone stayed safe, and the experience became a lesson in preparation, patience, and decision-making under pressure. Kareem's story demonstrates that even physically demanding challenges can be managed with careful planning, composure, and leadership. Challenges often require practical skills, but also the ability to stay calm and think clearly under pressure. Challenges in daily life often involve developing self-discipline. My friend Amina wanted to wake up earlier to exercise before work, but she initially struggled and kept hitting the snooze button. To overcome this, she created a routine, placed her alarm across the room, and tracked her progress in a journal. Within a few weeks, she built a strong habit and started feeling more energetic and productive. Amina's story shows that self-discipline transforms small, consistent actions into lasting achievements. Overcoming personal challenges often comes down to creating routines, staying consistent, and building positive habits over time. Another important aspect of facing challenges is managing uncertainty. My friend Zob was offered a job in a new city, but wasn't sure if it was the right choice. He could have rushed into a decision or avoided thinking about it, but instead, he carefully evaluated his options. He researched the city, considered the benefits and drawbacks of the job, and spoke with people who had similar experiences. By approaching the uncertainty thoughtfully, Zob made an informed choice that suited his long-term goals. His experience shows that facing unknown situations with careful planning and reflection can reduce anxiety and lead to better outcomes. Challenges are often unpredictable, but thoughtful decision-making helps transform uncertainty into opportunity. In life, challenges appear in many forms: unexpected disruptions, the need to learn new skills, physical dangers, building self-discipline, or navigating uncertainty. Rana adapted to weather, Tarek embraced learning, Kareem stayed calm in a storm, Amina built routines, and Zob made thoughtful decisions. Each story highlights strategies for overcoming obstacles: flexibility, learning, preparation, patience, self-discipline, and careful planning. Challenges are not just obstacles, they are opportunities to grow, develop new skills, and achieve success. Life will always present difficulties, but responding with calm, effort, and thoughtful strategies allows every challenge to become a stepping stone toward personal and professional growth. Facing challenges teaches resilience, adaptability, and confidence, preparing us for even greater achievements in the future. Facing challenges often requires careful research and thoughtful decision-making. My friend Zainab was offered an opportunity in a new city, but wasn't sure if it was the right choice. Instead of rushing, she researched the city, talked to people who lived there, and weighed the advantages and disadvantages of the job. By considering all the information carefully, she made a confident, and informed decision. Zainab's experience shows that uncertainty can be managed with patience, analysis, and preparation. Taking time to gather facts and reflect can turn an uncertain situation into a manageable one. Sometimes overcoming challenges depends on strategic planning. My friend Hamid wanted to expand his family business, but he had limited resources. Instead of acting impulsively, he created a detailed plan, studied market trends, and identified cost-effective strategies. He also delegated tasks to team members he trusted. By carefully following his plan, Hamid was able to grow his business steadily and sustainably. His story highlights that planning is often the bridge between a challenge and success. Facing challenges without a plan can lead to mistakes, but careful preparation increases the chances of achieving goals. Other challenges require strong communication skills, especially in stressful situations. My friend Layla had to negotiate a contract with international clients who had very strict requirements. She could have felt intimidated, but she prepared thoroughly. She anticipated questions, practiced her responses, and developed clear explanations. During the negotiation, she stayed calm, professional, and focused. In the end, she reached an agreement that satisfied both sides. Layla's experience shows that preparation and effective communication are essential tools for overcoming difficult interactions. Being calm and clear often turns challenges into opportunities to build trust and achieve positive outcomes. Managing personal expectations is another common challenge. My friend Samir wanted to run a marathon but expected he could do it without much training. At first, he struggled and became frustrated. He realized that setting unrealistic expectations was making the challenge harder than it needed to be. Samir adjusted his training, created achievable milestones, and celebrated small progress along the way. By managing his expectations, he gradually built endurance and confidence and eventually completed the marathon. Samir's story shows that realistic expectations reduce frustration and increase motivation, making it easier to overcome challenges. Learning to prioritize is also an essential skill when facing challenges. My friend Fatima had a week full of work deadlines, family responsibilities, and personal commitments. At first, she felt overwhelmed and stressed because everything seemed equally urgent. To manage the challenge, she made a list of tasks, identified the most important ones, and focused on completing them first. She also delegated some responsibilities when possible. By prioritizing effectively, Fatima was able to complete her tasks on time without feeling completely stressed out. Her experience highlights that challenges become more manageable when we learn to focus on what matters most. In life, challenges appear in many forms: uncertainty, limited resources, difficult interactions, unrealistic expectations, or overwhelming responsibilities. Zainab, Hamid, Layla, Samir, and Fatima each faced challenges in different ways, but they all used practical strategies to overcome them. Research, planning, preparation, realistic goal setting, and prioritization help them succeed. Challenges are not meant to stop us. They are opportunities to learn, grow, and achieve our goals. By approaching obstacles thoughtfully, we can turn difficulties into stepping stones toward personal and professional success. Sometimes challenges test our ability to prioritize tasks and manage time effectively. My friend Fatima faced a week full of work deadlines, family responsibilities, and personal projects. At first, she felt overwhelmed trying to handle everything at once. To manage the challenge, she created a priority list. She focused on urgent tasks first and delegated or postponed less important ones. By organizing her responsibilities in this way, she accomplished more with less stress. Fatima's story shows that prioritization is a practical and effective strategy for dealing with complex challenges. Learning what to focus on and what can wait is often the key to success in busy or demanding situations. Challenges also test our ability to stay calm under pressure. My friend Rashid faced a sudden technical failure during a critical client presentation. Many people might have panicked, but he stayed composed. Rashid calmly explained the issue to his audience, switched to a backup system, and continued the presentation without losing confidence. His experience demonstrates that staying calm and thinking quickly is essential in high-pressure situations. Panic often worsens a problem, but calm thinking allows us to find solutions efficiently and maintain professionalism. Another important aspect of facing challenges is building resilience through consistent daily habits. My friend Nadia started a morning routine that included exercise, meditation, and goal setting. Over time, she noticed that minor problems during the day no longer upset her as much. She could stay composed and focus on solutions instead of getting frustrated. Nadia's story illustrates that small, positive daily habits help build resilience, preparing us to face challenges more effectively. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is developed through practice, discipline, and consistent effort. Facing challenges sometimes requires creativity and resourcefulness. My friend Omar runs a small cafe and once faced a sudden shortage of fresh ingredients. He could have canceled orders or disappointed customers, but instead he used the available resources to create alternative menu options. Customers appreciated the creative solutions, and the cafe maintained its reputation. Omar's story shows that creative thinking can turn obstacles into opportunities. When conventional solutions are not available, resourcefulness allows us to find new ways to succeed. Challenges also often involve improving self-confidence. My friend Rana struggled with public speaking during team meetings. She felt nervous and unsure of herself. Instead of avoiding the challenge, she practiced regularly, recorded herself, and sought feedback from colleagues. Gradually, her confidence grew, and she became a respected voice in her team. Rana's story demonstrates that confidence is built through practice, persistence, and learning from experience. Facing challenges directly, rather than avoiding them, allows us to develop skills and gain self-assurance. In life, challenges appear in many forms: prioritizing tasks, staying calm under pressure, building resilience, thinking creatively, and improving confidence. Fatima, Rashid, Nadia, Omar, and Rana each faced different difficulties but overcame them with practical strategies. Prioritization, calmness, daily habits, creativity, and persistence are tools that help us succeed. Challenges are not meant to stop us. They are opportunities to grow, learn, and become stronger. By approaching difficulties thoughtfully, staying adaptable, and practicing positive habits, every challenge can become a stepping stone to personal and professional success. Challenges teach valuable skills, build resilience, and prepare us for even greater accomplishments in the future. Self-confidence is an important skill when facing challenges. It develops through preparation, practice, and persistence, helping us handle difficulties more effectively. My friend Ahmed started learning a musical instrument as an adult. At first, his progress was slow, and he sometimes felt discouraged. Instead of giving up, Ahmed committed to daily practice, tracked his progress, and celebrated small improvements along the way. After months of effort, he became proficient. Ahmed's story highlights that sustained effort over time is often the key to overcoming difficult challenges. Patience and persistence turn what seems impossible at first into achievable goals. Challenges can also test interpersonal skills and require effective communication. My friend Sarah faced conflicts with a neighbor over shared property boundaries. Rather than escalating the argument, she calmly explained her perspective, listened to the neighbor's concerns, and suggested fair compromises. By addressing the problem with patience and empathy, the conflict was resolved peacefully, and mutual respect grew stronger. Sarah's experience shows that communication, understanding, and patience are essential tools for managing interpersonal challenges. Resolving conflicts thoughtfully strengthens relationships and reduces stress. Facing challenges often involves being proactive rather than reactive. My friend Tark noticed recurring problems in his work team. Instead of waiting for issues to become crises, he implemented preventive measures. He trained his team, established clear procedures, and set expectations in advance. Over time, the team became more efficient, and problems were significantly reduced. Tarek's story demonstrates that taking action early, anticipating difficulties, and preparing for them is often more effective than trying to solve problems after they arise. Proactive planning builds confidence, reduces stress, and improves outcomes. Sometimes challenges require learning to manage stress effectively. My friend Layla experiences high-pressure days at work, especially during project deadlines. She practices mindfulness, takes short breaks, and uses deep breathing exercises to stay calm. These habits help her focus and handle her responsibilities without becoming overwhelmed. Layla's experience shows that stress management is an essential skill for overcoming challenges. By keeping calm and maintaining mental clarity, we can make better decisions and respond more effectively to difficult situations. Challenges appear in many forms: building confidence, resolving conflicts, being proactive, and managing stress. Ahmed, Sarah, Tarek, and Layla each faced different difficulties, but overcame them through practical strategies. Daily effort, patience, empathy, preparation, and calmness are all key to facing obstacles successfully. Life will continue to present difficulties, but challenges can be transformed into opportunities for growth. By approaching them with determination, thoughtful planning, and persistence, we can develop new skills, strengthen relationships, and achieve our goals. Challenges teach resilience, problem-solving, and self-discipline, preparing us for bigger successes in the future. Those who face difficulties with calm, persistence, and proactive strategies often find that obstacles become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Another important challenge in life is developing problem-solving skills. My friend Hassan ran a small business and faced repeated issues with the delivery system. Instead of complaining or ignoring the problem, he carefully analyzed the process, identified the bottlenecks, and implemented practical solutions. Over time, the system became more efficient and customers were happier. Hassan's experience shows that challenges can be opportunities for skill development when approached analytically. By thinking critically and seeking solutions rather than dwelling on problems, challenges can turn into lessons and achievements. Overcoming challenges also involves developing self-awareness. My friend Adil used to struggle with managing his emotions at work. During meetings, he often became frustrated when things didn't go as planned. Instead of ignoring his feelings, he started observing his reactions and identifying situations that triggered stress. He practiced pausing before responding and reflecting on his emotions. Over time, Adil became calmer, more composed, and more effective in handling conflicts. His story demonstrates that self-awareness is a powerful tool for managing both personal and professional challenges. Understanding ourselves better helps us respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Another essential skill for overcoming challenges is embracing constructive feedback. My friend Miriam works in marketing and once received feedback that her reports lacked clarity. Initially, she felt disappointed and a little discouraged. Instead of ignoring the feedback, she carefully analyzed the comments, asked colleagues for examples, and implemented the suggested improvements. Over time, her reports became clearer, more effective, and more persuasive. Miriam's experience highlights that challenges often appear in the form of feedback. Using it wisely allows us to turn weaknesses into strengths and grow professionally. Challenges frequently involve time pressure and tight deadlines. My friend Fahad, a project manager, faced a situation where several tasks had overlapping deadlines. Instead of panicking, he broke the tasks into smaller steps, delegated responsibilities to team members, and used digital tools to track progress. By staying organized and focused, he completed all tasks efficiently and without unnecessary stress. Fahad's story shows that organization, planning, and smart delegation are crucial when managing time-sensitive challenges. Breaking large tasks into manageable pieces makes even the most stressful deadlines achievable. Life presents challenges in many forms: problem-solving, self-awareness, learning from feedback, and managing deadlines. Hassan improved his business through analytical thinking, Adil managed emotions through self-awareness, Miriam grew stronger by accepting feedback, and Fahad handled pressure through organization. Each example shows that challenges are not obstacles meant to stop us. They are opportunities to grow, develop new skills, and improve ourselves. By facing difficulties thoughtfully, staying calm under pressure, learning from experience, and using constructive strategies, challenges can become stepping stones toward success. The key is to approach each difficulty with persistence, creativity, and a positive attitude. Facing challenges often requires proper planning and time management. My friend Fahad, a project manager, faced overlapping deadlines for multiple tasks. Instead of panicking, he broke the tasks into smaller steps, delegated responsibilities, and used digital tools to track progress. By staying organized and focused, he completed all tasks efficiently, without compromising quality. Fahad's story illustrates that careful planning and time management can transform high-pressure situations into manageable challenges. Breaking large tasks into smaller, structured steps makes even overwhelming responsibilities achievable. Challenges also test resilience after failure. My friend Sana started a small online shop, but the first few months were slow, with very few customers. Instead of giving up, she analyzed what was working and what was not, improved her marketing strategy, and focused on excellent customer service. Slowly, her sales increased, and the business became profitable. Sana's story shows that persistence and resilience can turn initial failures into long-term success. Challenges often require patience and the ability to learn from setbacks, rather than seeing them as permanent obstacles. Interpersonal misunderstandings are another type of challenge. My friend Naaman had a disagreement with a colleague over responsibilities in a collaborative project. Instead of letting the tension escalate, he requested a private discussion, clarified his intentions, and carefully listened to his colleague's concerns. They reached an agreement and successfully completed the project. Naaman's story highlights that communication, empathy, and openness are essential for overcoming interpersonal challenges. Handling disagreements thoughtfully can strengthen relationships and lead to better teamwork. Adapting to new technology is a common modern challenge. My friend Hina, a teacher, struggled when her school switched to online teaching. She initially had difficulty with video conferencing tools, online grading systems, and managing a virtual classroom. Instead of resisting the change, Hina attended training sessions, experimented with new features, and practiced before her classes. Within a few weeks, she was running online lessons confidently and even helped colleagues learn the new tools. Hina's story demonstrates that embracing change and learning new skills can overcome technological challenges. Adaptability and a willingness to learn are key when facing unfamiliar situations. Challenges can also involve unexpected financial burdens. My friend Samira's car broke down suddenly, requiring expensive repairs. Instead of panicking, she calmly assessed her options, created a budget for the repair, and adjusted her spending to cover the cost. By approaching the problem logically, she managed the financial challenge without undue stress. Samira's experience shows that careful planning and rational thinking help manage unexpected difficulties effectively. Life presents challenges in many forms: managing time, recovering from failure, resolving conflicts, adapting to technology, and handling financial surprises. Fahad, Sana, Naaman, Hina, and Samira each faced different obstacles, but overcame them with practical strategies. Planning, persistence, empathy, adaptability, and careful thinking are essential tools for success. Challenges are not meant to stop us. They are opportunities to grow, develop new skills, and achieve our goals. By facing difficulties calmly, learning from setbacks, and acting thoughtfully, every challenge can become a stepping stone toward personal and professional growth. Life's obstacles teach resilience, problem-solving, and flexibility, preparing us for bigger successes in the future.